Back on DayZ on the Xbox, and we have some truly exciting and rather intense news. Lots of additional details on 1.04, and also things that are really going to be changing up the game in the near future. Obviously not a base in this area, but well, because the last time when I left the game, I was like, there's a big base on top of the fire station, which is really cool, but it's not here in this server. Moving past that, we now have details that 1.04 will be a complete server and character wipe, and it will introduce private servers. So let's break that down. Characters are going to be gone. You're going to have to basically start fresh. All the servers are going to be fresh, completely changed, reset. The entire loot economy, everything like that will be adjusted. And I guess they're doing private servers. They're actually coming. We will introduce private servers. This update will address some of the current most troublesome issues in the game, including duping, server hopping, and frame rates. So it sounds like this could legitimately be like a huge game changer for what the game is. And this will kind of come out on, obviously Xbox and PlayStation. So they also gave a lengthy detail thing. So there's actually like quite a fair bit of details to go over, because there's a lot of things that are going to be happening. So first off, they gave a plan of what's to come. So this is like details of what you should expect, going forward for the rest of 2019. Just some ideas and everything like that. And we're going to break it down alongside this calming rain that is taking place in the server. So console updates will always happen after PC updates. We know that. I've talked about it multiple times. Within 3 to 4 weeks of each other. The main reason for this lies with the specifics of console submission and the review process. It takes 3 to 7 days for a submitted game to go through review. If it is decided the build is good to publish, it takes 3 more days to roll out. However, there are any issues flagged by Sony or Microsoft, even ones that could be fixed in the hour, the process has to be started all over again. So that's where some of the issues come in, and I hope that gives kind of context in regards to how that works. So because this takes a while, they test out PC because it's faster, and it minimizes the chances of them having to redo builds basically to release updates for the game, which is again something that I have mentioned in past videos, and I will mention in this video. We're not going over the specifics of what's included in the update because we've already gone over that, and it is subject to change, being slightly different for the consoles. But we are going over a lot of things that they are adjusting. So private servers are something that I kind of went over like a long time ago. It's shocking to see them here. I guess I'm gonna have to look at costs and everything, but since you guys love DayZ on our channel so much, I will probably get a private server going so that we can play on it, and hopefully people can help out with guides. Jesus, come on, it's firefighter zombies today. So if you guys are looking forward to me having a private server, just again let me know your interest and everything like that. Your feedback and stuff is sort of vital for running that kind of thing. I mean, I ran a Minecraft realm for a while, and I think this will be easier to manage. We're just gonna have to see costs and details and everything like that and work that out, but pretty exciting. So parity with 0.62 and the DayZ mod. A full parity isn't possible because of engine specifics. While features from 5 years ago are exciting, we want to remind you that most of the features didn't really work back then, and that's why it wasn't a final game. So this is where you're going to have to maybe taper your expectations a bit for the game in some areas. Ooh, a lovely igloo backpack. Powdered milk. Yeah, okay, sure. You might question the necessity of a new engine, but for those who took a long break from the game, it's plain to see how much of a difference it has made. Yeah, I'd say it's better than what I remember, maybe? I don't know, it's been ages. DayZ runs a lot smoother, they note, on this new engine, although it may be hard to see the difference on a day-to-day. Taking a step back, you can highlight the changes, blah, blah, blah. So this is the game, what they're looking at in the future. Yeah, so an advanced health system. They improved it in 1.04 and will continue balancing. However, at the time, we do not want to commit to implementing complex medical/injury gameplay, because remember back in the day, it used to be able to break legs and stuff. While this is desired by many hardcore players, we're still struggling to fully explain the complexity of the existing engine to the majority of players. And they're working towards a balance of authenticity and accessibility. That's a zombie. Just so you know about that. New content, guns, cars. As you know, we already have some added. Some of these more will follow. Keep in mind that will depend on how quickly we can achieve this year's goals. Okay, so new content probably. Modding support. We will improve the experience for both modders and players. For example, animation tool support. So that's more for PC. That's not specifically Xbox, but I just thought it was worth mentioning because, you know, why not? Stable base building. A large part of this is a matter of balancing one of our key objectives for the year. So it sounds like base building is something that they're looking at adjusting for accessibility. The rest of 2019 will be bug fixing, stabilizing, balancing, and modding support. So not really a whole lot, it sounds like. They also, and this is something I didn't kind of expect, and I said they might do it kind of like this. I said not to expect it, but this is the route they would go if they were going to do it. Just guessing. We are going to do an official DLC this year. Keep your eyes open, as they're going to make a note of that. So that's right, the game will be getting I imagine, a paid DLC at some point. I'm guessing it's going to be an additional map, and we do have some more details from a secondary feed to go over that might give us more context, and I'm going to go over that in a second. I'm just trying to break it down like information place by information place because that keeps it easier for me to manage. As I mentioned in a previous video, they are also testing out their Survivor Game Z, which is kind of like a survival battle royale, they call it. So go to that video if you want details about that. So that's something they also mentioned that they could possibly bring to DayZ as an additional game mode, so maybe not even a standalone. I would personally, I don't know if they watch my stuff at all or anything like that, suggest doing a standalone game because it's easier to get rid of, and it's also something that could bring in potentially new players if it is its own entity. That's just the smarter kind of marketing thing to do. You could also include it in this game as like a launcher thing. So as in, we use an example, the Chief Collection, you know, you can launch all the games from there. It wouldn't hurt to have that also be a standalone option, but you can launch it from DayZ. You can play it natively within this game without having to switch. Or if you're somebody that just wants that intense kind of battle royale thing, you can make it its own standalone thing in addition to this as well. So it can, you know, it would all be like, it would all play with each other, same pool of players. It would just be kind of separate games for reasons of capturing newer audiences and everything like that. That's the smarter marketing way to do it. I guess they're also having a number of people leave, team changes. So like, I guess the only difference is Barton, the brand manager for the consoles, is I guess leaving. You know, at least, yeah. So I guess that's exciting. I really don't care too much. Yeah, okay. So moving past this, it is for consoles. Yes, that's kind of what they mentioned. So we're going to see private servers and something like that. We don't know details about server purchasing yet or how that's going to work, so hopefully we get to see that. Again, I mentioned, guys, that the preview, like as in like a trial for the game, ended when the game left early access on Xbox. Oh look, there's a floating zombie up there. That's funny. You see the zombie over there, kind of standing on the edge of its top left of the screen. I guess we go in closer because it's kind of a funny thing to see. But yeah, that trial did end at that point. Yeah, okay. They also kind of make a joke thing here about the DLC, where it's like, or is it not Chernarus, which is the map here. So I'm guessing that kind of leads into my theory where this would be like an additional kind of location with a different biome or something like that. Something I didn't think they would ever actually do because they've never done it in the past, but yeah, I guess it could be something that we could see. Look at me, I'm a creeper. Anyways. Huh. There's something weirdly majestic about seeing the zombie float up here. And I guess they're going to talk about the alpha kind of for the battle thing tomorrow. I'm hoping, because they said I'd be good for filming, assuming I get into that I would be able to create gameplay. So hopefully that is something we can show off in the near future. So like part of the reason why they did the server refresh I've never seen a zombie float for this long, was due to the fact they had a big issue with duplicated loot, and it ruined the experience for many players. Among several other solutions, what players suggested, a complete wipe was their option. So they might give notice, or it'll just happen with the update. It might be in like an ahead thing, so you can go and like waste your characters away. Some people were complaining about the mechanics of the hardcore thing not coming, but they said it's important that they do certain things like bringing stability for players and everything like that. Overall, I think it's kind of like a pretty intense update. I don't know if anyone else is finding this funny, but it's just this floating zombie here is just, I don't know, I find it kind of humorous. Can I like get up here on the wall and like attack her or something? Oh, where is she? Can I cut her from down here? Like what nav path is she on that she's able to walk like this and just kind of like be floating there? But yeah, pretty big update information overall, I think. Oh, I looked away for a second to scroll through the feed, but where'd she go? Is she in this building? Where'd she vanish to? Isn't that kind of... Where did she go? Oh, I have the thingy for this. That's cool. I should probably hotkey the axe there. But yeah, I have the lamp thing, which I believe I need to do this way. Gas powdered lamp. That really isn't effective during the day at all. I think they just kind of turned off lights for the day, like you can see it, but it's just like there's like zero luminance because it used to actually illuminate quite a bit. Oh no, she's still there. She's still chilling, you know, chilling like a villain, walking in the air. I don't know. I find this kind of humorous because it's something, you know, different and stuff like that. But yeah, overall, I think it's kind of an exciting series of updates and information. I'd love to hear what you guys think about it. Keep in mind that we do have a video that I made a video for the 1.04. You gotta watch the 1.03 video and the 1.04 video because 1.03 and 1.04 have been added together as a single update towards the end of July, assuming they're still on track for that. I guess we're gonna leave this lady alone. So yeah, kind of, I guess, somewhat exciting things are on the horizon. Oh yeah, and we had a video where I married 2 people up there, and that was kind of interesting. I thought that was an entertaining one. Wait a sec, I might as well check the military area up here. And I guess I could also go over the fact that they've had like increased player counts on DayZ, so that's kind of cool. At least Steam-wise. Damn it. Zombie. It's like a priest zombie, right? I miss my knuckles. They were so much more effective. Alright, yeah. So I guess in the last hour, at least for when I'm doing this, they've had 11,000 players on Steam. 24-hour peak of 16,000. And their all-time peak was 45,000. But yeah, they've got a pretty upwards trend, I think, in regards to player counts and everything like that. So the game is actually increasing in popularity and everything, believe it or not. And that kind of shows a healthy thing. At least I think it looks fairly healthy across the console platforms too, which probably prompted the DLC. And you know, I'm sure for DLC, like, people might be complaining the fact that the game, you know, they want certain things added. DLC, like, it's the sort of the scenario where it was like an ARC. People were really mad about ARC, where it wasn't even out yet and it was getting DLC. You gotta remember that the DLC actually does help support the development of the game. There's a person over here, isn't there? Or is that a zombie? Oh. So yeah, if they have more of a budget, they can add more content and they can continue to work on it. So this is kind of important, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what the DLC is. I think a new area to explore would be really cool. I don't think it's a new game mode, because they are testing out the Battle Royale one. So it could, I think it's going to be a new area. Fingers crossed for maybe a snow world would be kind of cool, or I think desert's sort of the easy one that people kind of go to in these types of titles. I don't think I'd be a huge fan of a desert one. Maybe even just like a new smaller area where it's like more hectic play would be neat. I doubt it's going to be a bigger area, at least in my opinion, just kind of guessing on it. But yeah, DLC. And I mean, it might, like, just from the tease though, it sounds like it's a new place to go outside of this world, but it could also just be, I don't know, it could be anything else, right? Like, I don't know what else it would be specifically. Like, I can't think of anything that would add content-wise to the game, because when you do that with this sort of thing, right, you're kind of giving an advantage. Like, you couldn't buy a car in this game, right? That wouldn't make any sense, because then you would have a car. You could maybe do, like, special character stuff. So the character customizer, which really isn't that in-depth, guys. Seriously, you just, like, pick a couple faces and you pick clothing items. Isn't really in-depth. I could see them doing DLC clothing and stuff. I think if the way they're teasing it, if that was all they're doing, it would be a little underwhelming, to be honest. But that is a potential route. I mean, buying, like, a cheap DayZ skin, I guess. Why not? I mean, I actually get enough views on the DayZ stuff where it would actually be possible that I could do like a video on like cheap clothing items and show it off. And I'd probably get like I don't know, break even on it at least, I would imagine, for showing stuff like that. It'd be kind of cool. So that, yeah, the cosmetic side of things is what I could see them doing. I can't think of really any other DLC. I mean, if you guys have any ideas of what they might do with that, because you got to think is like, what would they do that doesn't give an advantage and fits into what this is? It really just seems like new locations to me, right? Because you're not going to be able to pay for like new gardening things. Like, you're not going to be able to be like, oh, I bought the pineapple DLC and now I can grow pineapples in the game, because that doesn't work, because it's an open world survival game. So it's very selective on what they can actually do when it comes to DLC content within DayZ. And I think that aspect of it is kind of interesting. I am really sort of looking forward to what they're doing with the Battle Royale survival in this one. I know a lot of people, and this might not be for everyone, guys, a lot of people mentioned that they would prefer this type of game, but with a more intense focus on combat. And I think doing their survival kind of thing might be a middle ground towards that. I mean, personally, I suggest going and just playing PUBG if you want that, because it's basically, you know, based on the same sort of thing. They do play entirely different, but they do feel remarkably similar just based on their origins. But I mean, this could be a good option to kind of expand the game. Maybe even just a deathmatch kind of game type would be really cool. You know, you get put on teams and you kind of fight to the death. Did this guy kill him? It looks like he killed himself. But you know what I mean, right? Where it's just like first to 50 kills, 2 teams of 12 players. I think that would be good as an option to kind of, not for what you're thinking was like, oh, it's just a silly blast thing, which it could be, but more of like a training ground, so you actually could potentially understand the guns a bit better in the game, because I know like some people complain about how I shoot guns and stuff. Well, it'd be good practice if there was a mode where you just have, you know, the guns available so that you can actually practice with them, right? Get a better hold of them, understand the guns better. I think that might be a nice idea. I kind of want to keep the fire axe, but I want the shovel to grow a tomato area. Might as well take this back in the inventory too, because I got a gun. 2 guns. I don't have any bullets though. I could get rid of the gas lamp, but I kind of want to show that off at night if that becomes an option. Just trying to forward think, assuming I don't get shot in the middle of the field here again. Eerily familiar to that. I mean, I hope that was enough PvP action for people, was me blasting in the middle of an open field. And then later on in like some fisticuffs and stuff. Even though I don't have items. But I think that generally covers all the details. It's kind of a big deal because it's a lot of like surprise information about the game specifically. If you fall into really covering, like watching this and trying to get information about it, that's the first real details we've had. It actually hasn't been that long. It's been like a week or two or something like that. But you know, these are like concrete details. Well, very vague as hell as usual, but these are actual information details that could really change the game up a lot going forward, and I think it'll be interesting to see how certain things are implemented and what exactly is in this large update and how much it does alter performance in the overall experience.